Hello, everybody, my subscribers, people who are new to my channel that are curious about this video. Hi, welcome. My name is Kim, and I'm coming to y'all raw. As you can see, I have my bonnet on. I'm home. It's all good. I want to talk about abstinence. I've been abstinent for over 4 years. Actually, it's going to be 6 years this September. And a lot of people might say, wow, that's a lot of years. Like, how do you do it? So, this is just my experience. And, I want to talk about where I am in my journey and possibly give tips on how you could begin your journey to abstinence and, just maintaining accountability and not getting off track. And I'm looking to the side because I've written down everything that I want to say, you know, step by step, just so I could streamline my thoughts. So, so yeah, abstinence. Okay. I hear a lot of people using abstinence and celibacy. A lot of people use those terms interchangeably. So I just want to give y'all the definition of what abstinence is and what celibacy is. So here we go. And y'all, I'm not going to do no editing. So yeah, just bear with me. Okay, so according to Google, abstinence is a choice to not have sex. This method is 100% effective in preventing pregnancy and infection as long as all sexual contact is avoided, including vaginal, oral, and anal sex. Okay, let's look at another definition. Okay, so this is from the Oxford Dictionary. Abstinence, the fact or practice of restraining oneself from indulging in something, typically alcohol. So, okay, so those are the meaning. So those are the meanings of abstinence. It's basically the practice of restraining yourself from something, from indulging in something. So in this case, I'm restraining myself from indulging in sex. So let's look at what celibacy is. So, according to Oxford, celibacy is the state of abstaining from marriage and sexual relations. So, you could see where abstinence and celibacy differ. Abstinence is practicing, you know, practice of restraining oneself from indulging in certain activities, and celibacy is the state of abstaining from marriage and sexual relations. I mean, in a way, I guess, both of them both of them are kind of similar. I mean, yeah, celibacy is abstaining and abstinence is abstaining. So, but a lot of people who are abstinent, they're not waiting for marriage. They're abstaining for different reasons. For example, the reason why I abstained is because I was on a spiritual journey. So I'll get started from the beginning. I became abstinent in 2016, September 2016 to be exact. And the reason for my abstinence was basically my spirit was tired, My spirit was drained. I was in my 20s, mid to late 20s. I was in a place where I wasn't getting what I wanted from sex in terms of like a connection. I found myself laying next to someone and wondering why I was there. And it shouldn't be that way. You should never lay down next to your partner and, feel empty inside. And that's how I felt. As the years went by within my within my abstinence journey, I kind of connected the pieces together on a lot of things, did shadow work, stuff like that. And I realized that I was trying to fill a void with sex that was just never being filled. It was like a gaping hole that I was trying to fill up, and it just would not fill. So I had to take a step back and really think about what I need to do for my mental health and, my physical well being. And the answer, to me was clear. I was going to just stop having sex altogether. So I started in September 2016, like I said. Has the journey been rough? Absolutely. There, I won't say there have been times that I've slipped up necessarily, because don't get me wrong, throughout the years I've been celibate, I'm saying celibate too many times, Lord. Okay, throughout the years I've been abstinent. Yes, that's the word. Throughout the years I've been abstinent, I've went on plenty of dates. I've formed connections with, different people of the opposite sex. So it's never been a thing where it's like I was a nun. I had on a habit and I was prudish and all of that. Like, it was never that. Like, I definitely explored my body, through self pleasure. I got to learn my body. I got to learn my likes and dislikes, even more than I did when I was, sexually active. And I just learned to value my temple a lot more, since being on this journey. And hold on, I'm just making sure that I'm on track. Yes. So, yeah, the journey hasn't been an easy road at all. Like, I'm human just like everybody else. I feel like everyone wants companionship, even if it's not companionship with a human being. Perhaps you may want a pet, or, you know, you believe in aliens and you might want to get abducted. I don't know. But everybody wants companionship on some type of level. That's how I feel. Um so yeah, there's times when I do feel lonely. There's times when it's like, you know, when will I find my someone, right? But I'm at a point now where instead of me suppressing my issues and my trauma and my emotions with sex, I now have to deal with whatever comes up to the surface. So, when you're abstinent, you have to like really do mental gymnastics, until you're in a space where you're able to cope with your emotions in a healthy way. Because the path that I was going down, it wasn't going to lead to anything good. I had to do this for myself. I had to take a step back and choose me. And in the beginning, it might seem hard to do that, but you can do it. Um, what else? What else? So, okay, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons to abstinence, because there's pros and cons to everything. So with being abstinent, with being abstinent, the pros are your clarity is it's like your clarity increases tenfold. Like since becoming abstinent, I've what can I say? Like I've been able to see things more in depth than I did before. It's like my mind, something in my mind just changed. The way that my mind operates, it changed, and I'm able to be more clairvoyant, and like my discernment is way better than it was before since I've become abstinent. Um, what else? You learn accountability. I had to be held accountable for my past, you know, things that I've done to people, things that I allowed to be done to me. I had to take accountability for that. And being abstinent helped me a lot with that. What else? Willpower. I've developed a strong sense of willpower since becoming abstinent because, we live in a world where sex is just in your face 24/7. Everything is sexualized. So, you know, for you to not give in to certain temptations and, you know, not give in to like certain things that the average person they wouldn't think twice in indulging in. It does take a lot of willpower. It takes a certain amount of strength. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the cons. I'm not gonna lie, like after being alone for so long, like after abstaining for so long, my tolerance level for bullshit is very low. It's like this. You get to a point where it's like you're so comfortable with your own company that you don't really have the need for anyone else. I'm trying to explain my thoughts clearly. Yeah, it's like you feel so good being alone that it's like you don't want anyone to interrupt that happiness, you know? So that's kind of like a con to me because it's like if you have a barrier up, who the right person won't be able to get in. And I feel like with me, I kind of do have a barrier up in the way because it's like, okay, I've been abstinent all these years. I've been preserving myself, for all this time. I can't let just anybody in, you know. I can't just let anyone have access to my body. Like it needs to be the right person. So, yeah, like one of the cons is like you get kind of too comfortable with being by yourself. So, what else? What else is another con? I mean, I think that's about it. I don't really see any other cons with abstinence. Like, you're protecting your psyche, you're protecting your body, you're avoiding any STDs, STIs that are out there. Those are all great things. Okay, so let me talk about where I'm at now in my journey. So, where I'm at now in my journey is pretty much I feel like I've learned everything that I've needed to learn about myself. I've healed. Don't get me wrong, there's still certain parts that need to be healed, but I want to normalize not being all the way healed in order to qualify for a relationship. Like we all have stuff that we wear on our sleeve. We all have, things that we struggle with. So you don't have to be all healed before you go into a relationship. I feel like that's a myth, you know. Don't don't place your trauma on somebody else, but at the same time, You don't have to be all the way healed in order to enter a relationship. As long as you're on your journey to healing, you know, everything that you want to heal, I feel like that's enough. Um so yeah, where I'm at on my journey is basically I feel like I'm ready to, go back out there and experience physical intimacy with a partner again. I feel like I've done enough. I've done enough inner work in order to handle that mentally, physically, emotionally, etc. So I'm gonna give y'all some tips. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna give y'all some tips on how to get started if you want to get started with your abstinence journey. So I would say tip number one would be, don't put yourself in situations where you're going to be tempted to have sex. Like, don't call up that ex, you know. You know which ex I'm talking about. The ex with the good fill in the blank. Don't call up that ex. Um, if you're dating, if you still want to date while being abstinent, don't go to that person's house if you know you don't want to have sex. Like, that's out. You gotta put that to the side. What else? I would say have an accountability partner, but you don't really necessarily have to have an accountability partner. Um, your accountability partner could be God or, whoever your deity is, or, you know, whatever your spiritual practices is, you just lean on that. That's what I did. What else? Learn your body. Learn your body. Self pleasure, nothing, self pleasure. I advocate for self pleasure. There's nothing wrong with it. It's your body. It's very healthy to do that. Um, but if you feel like self pleasure would make you, crave sex even more, then I would say don't do it like right now. Try to like abstain from that too until you could get a better hold on what you're doing. And another tip would probably be don't entertain bullshit. Like, if you want to really do this, there's certain things and people that you just cannot entertain. You got to cut all of that out. Cut every temptation out. Even if you have to, like, delete certain pages off your social media that might tempt you, do that. Delete who you need to, block who you need to. Just get rid of all the outside temptations. And that's about it for now. If y'all have any questions for me, leave it down below. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.